Hello, I'm Chris with the Mobile Internet Resource Center, here to share some big breaking news that's going to have impacts on the entire mobile industry. This morning, T-Mobile and Sprint announced their engagement. They're going to merge. Now, this has been a story that has been in development since 2011. T-Mobile has been up for sale that long. T-Mobile, owned by a German company, Deutsche Telekom, has been wanting to get out of the U.S. market. And, well, back in 2011, AT&T bit. They actually were this close to acquiring T-Mobile. Papers were signed. Everything was good to go. But the federal regulators were unsure of the whole idea of letting the U.S. market shrink from 4 cell carriers to 3 nationwide cell carriers. And as it seemed clear that that deal was never going to get approved, AT&T walked away, had to pay a kill fee, a termination fee to T-Mobile of $3 billion. That's a hell of an engagement ring T-Mobile got to keep. And, well, T-Mobile used that to take themselves from struggling 4th place, really, who wants them, to, well, they've been the hottest cell carrier ever since, and growing faster than anyone, doing more innovation than anyone. And so, well, years after that, Sprint was the next suitor who went after T-Mobile, and throughout 2013, 2014, Sprint came this close to making an official acquisition bid for, or merger bid for T-Mobile. But, well, again, with the federal regulators wanting 4 carriers, it never seemed like it was going to go through. Enter 2017, a new FCC, a new administration. Suddenly, rumors abound. T-Mobile is back on the market. T-Mobile can be bought. T-Mobile is up for a merger. And is Sprint going to be the one? It almost happened last year, and, well, rumors are going on and on and on, and today is the day. T-Mobile CEO and Sprint CEO got together and announced wedding bells will be ringing. And, of course, as soon as federal regulators, the FCC, approve this merger. So a large part of the announcement is trying to convince Congress that there's going to be a lot of jobs, there's not going to be a lot of consolidation, it's going to be lower prices for consumers, and better for the U.S. leadership in bringing 5G to market. So, whoa, hey, Sprint and T-Mobile becoming one. What's this new company going to look like? Well, for one, it's going to be called T-Mobile. They're going to ditch the Sprint name. The T-Mobile CEO is going to remain in charge. Sprint CEO is going to be just sitting on the board of directors and kind of basically stepping out of the picture. And this is going to give T-Mobile an access to a lot of money that Sprint's parent company in Japan has access to, and a lot of cellular spectrum. So this is where it gets really interesting. T-Mobile has been buying up and has a lot of 600 megahertz low band, long range spectrum that they've been starting to roll out as LTE band 71. And they've been saying this is going to both expand their LTE coverage, and they're setting aside a lot of this to be long range 5G. Sprint, on the other hand, owns massive amounts of high frequency spectrum that is not good for long range coverage, but is really good for speed. And Sprint has never really been able to do much with this just because they're Sprint. Combine that high frequency spectrum with what T-Mobile already has on the low frequency, and they're claiming it's going to let them be the first company to bring out nationwide 5G, not just 5G focused in little metro areas like Verizon and AT&T will be doing the first few years. So that's pretty exciting on the technology standpoint. Again, they're claiming this is going to bring lower prices, more service to rural customers, more competition all across the market. The potential downsides, well, you're going from 4 major competitors in the cellular market in the U.S. to 3, so that is a lot less competition. And you know, if AT&T had managed to turn that into 3 competitors back in 2011, the cellular market today would not look anywhere like it does now. The competition over the past several years has been great for consumers. But things are changing right now. There's more competition from cable companies getting into the cellular market. There's more viable options from satellite that are starting to emerge. And so maybe it really doesn't matter that there's only 3 major cellular carriers. There's still enough competition out there to keep things interesting. Again, we have to wait to see whether the FCC and Congress and federal regulators approve this deal to see if this actually happens. It's going to take a while, but whether it goes through or not, this is a big changes coming to the mobile industry, and we'll be tracking this very, very closely.